Hey guys, just wanted to share a word with you this morning. There's a scripture in Matthew 14 from verse 22 where it talks about where Jesus walks on water. Just going to read it out. It says, "And immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side. After he had dismissed them, he went up on the mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the shore. It was being tossed and thrown around the place by the waves, because of the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. 'It's a ghost,' they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid.' 'What if that is you?' Peter replied. 'Tell me to come to you on the water.' 'Come,' Jesus said. Then Peter got out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was terrified and began sinking, and he cried out to the Lord, 'Save me.' Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You have little faith,' he said. 'Why did you doubt?' And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, 'Truly you are the Son of God.'" When Jesus is actually walking on the water, Jesus is actually meant to pass them by. Jesus is not actually heading towards the boat to where the disciples are. He's walking to the other side of the water. Now, Jesus in this moment is fulfilling scripture of when God would pass by, just like Jesus was about to pass by the disciples in the boat. And he was hoping for a miraculous thing to happen. He was hoping that they would get out of the boat and just follow him to the other side. We are like that in our lives. Sometimes we have to step out in faith to where Jesus is at. And sometimes we want Jesus to come into our boat, but we need to step out into faith and into things that he's called us into. You see, in the boat, there were disciples. The only one who got out was Peter. See, Peter had the faith to step out into the unknown. You know, you always look at this story as that Peter was the one that failed, but he was the one that succeeded, because he's the one that got out into purpose and walked in faith in Jesus Christ. The ones who never even stepped out of the boat, never even were able to experience that. Peter might have sank and Jesus saved him, but he had the faith to step out. But he was the only one that experienced walking on water. Do we do that today? Do we have the faith to step out? You know, sometimes we look at things on the surface and we lack the faith to step out into them because we have fear of the unknown. We should realize that Christ is with us. Christ is in us, and Christ is for us. So when we step out into things of purpose and meaning, he is our safety net. He is the place, our refuge that we go to. So what controls you today? Does your faith enable you to step out into the unknown? Or does the fear try to control your life, keep you down? You know, the minute you step out in faith into the unknown is the time you see miracles. Just like Peter seen a miracle of himself walking on water. But the other disciples didn't experience the miracle. They witnessed it, not part of the miracle. And we have to understand. So when we start to walk in faith and don't live in fear through Jesus Christ, we start to see the miracles happen. So we're walking in purpose. We're walking in meaning, and we're walking in his purpose and our calling for our life. I want to encourage you this morning, guys. Don't live your life in fear. Don't live your life by what you see with your own eyes. Step out of your comfort zone. But even if in that uncertainty, Jesus is the one to support you into that purpose. So today, take heart, take courage, and have hope. Christ has purpose for your life.